Hello. Before we get started with the video, I wanted to thank you for clicking on it. Whether you stick around the whole time or you just kind of watch for a little bit, I did want to thank you for your time. My name is Mercury Sounds, and I hope you enjoy this ASMR roleplay. Why, hello there, little fish. You look lost. You wouldn't happen to be new to town, would you? Vale City isn't the sort of place you want to be alone at night. That is, unless you can handle yourself. Well, yes, I am alone. But then again, I can handle myself. And then some. Nice to meet you, young lady. My name is Saromir. I've lived here a long time, in fact. Not as long as I've lived other places. Nevertheless, I do know this town like the back of my hand. And this neighborhood in particular, while safe, not so much at night. I hope it's not overstepping to say so, but you are a very pretty lady, and this city is filled with malefactors. May I request to accompany you to your destination, if only just to make sure that you get home safe? Oh, good. You're waiting for a friend. I'm glad. Always better to travel in pairs, or more. Me? A malevolent man. Oh, that is a good question. Glad to see you're quick up on the take. I mean, other than the shallow introduction I just gave, there's really not much you would really know about me. I mean, other than that I am a strange man, walking at night, where it's not quite the safest to do so. How about this for a proposition? I'll sit with you on this bench, at a respectable distance, of course, and I can tell you my story, so that we aren't strangers anymore, while you wait for your friend. All right then. I guess I should probably start by saying that I, myself, am an arch-vampire. Worry not. Arch-vampires don't have any need to drink blood. They do it purely for the sake of it, for the fun of it, for the chaotic thrill of it. You see, we're different than the rest. And I, personally, find myself too old to have any want for all of that commotion. How old? That is a good question. It's getting harder the more time goes on to keep track of it. I know I'm older than 23 centuries. I think I am 6 centuries, 7 decades, and some amount of years from my 3rd millennium. I've done plenty over my lifespan. I've built entire armies over and over. I've toppled a handful of empires. I've sowed the seeds of ruin for many a revolution. I wasn't always such a bad man, but it was rare that I was as good as I am now. You're curious. About what? Oh, the blood. That makes sense. Well, Like I said before, I am an arch-vampire, and the kind like me don't suffer the same affliction as the other kinds. That look on your face. Yes, there is more than one kind of vampire. Well, out of the true vampires, there are archies like myself, pure vampires, and minor vampires. There are also ghouls and thralls, so 5 in total. All non-arch-vampires are made via a miasma, held within our bodies. Pure vampires garner it one of 2 ways. The first is that the miasma is gifted to them, or it's released upon death of an arch-vampire, cursing the one who killed them. The second is that a minor vampire strikes down their master, taking the miasma for themselves and creating the essence needed to be a pure vampire. A minor vampire is made when a pure vampire infects a mortal being with a portion of their curse, gifting them with powers of magic and cursing them with a thirst for blood, such as the pure has, but also a need to follow their orders. This can also happen to pure vampires, but that's neither here nor there. We're kind of like a hierarchy, a pyramid scheme, if you will. We might be the first pyramid scheme. Anyway, when a pure vampire creates a minor vampire, this makes a less powerful version of one, the weakest of the true vampires. After that, there are ghouls and thralls. Ghouls are made when the blood of a vampire gets into a mortal being. They don't have any magical powers, they're merely beasts, blood-crazed and sick beasts. You see, the blood of a vampire is toxic to mortals, magically so. It's even degenerative to all non-arch-vampires. It's strangely lacking in hemoglobin, which I've recently theorized has something to do with this miasma. That would explain why thralls, who aren't made via the miasma, don't have the same problems, and have a few similarities to arch-vampires. They don't lust for blood, and they can be out in the sunlight. They do, however, have to obey every vampire in the bloodline they are born from. Finally, you have arch-vampires like myself. We're made quite differently, actually. You see, unlike the Wallachian Nimrod, Vlad Dracul III, my least favorite of the pures. Trust me, that guy was a douchebag. It delighted me to no end to watch Nosferatu kill him. Anyway, I'm digressing. Arches are made by otherworldly beings. Myself, I made a pact with the Morning Star. Others were not pact-born, such as Count Orlok, for instance. He was cursed by the King of Rats, Rattenkönig. But I had been promised by the fallen sun immortal life. The fallen sun had promised me an immortal life if I could just topple 3 empires. Unfortunately, it took me millennia. I was too young to topple Rome, the empire that was around when I started. And I wasn't powerful enough to topple any until the 20th century of the Common Era. Why? Why what? Agree to the pact. I never thought about why. Just the things that led to it. I was filled with fury, sorrow, and worry. A good man he died. He was killed. The morning star seemed to respond to my woes when it came to the death of the wise man Yeshua. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed for vengeance, and I received an angel of choice. I still don't know if I made the right one. But it seems like your friend is here. So, that might be a story for another time if I ever see you again. It has been very nice speaking with you. I haven't talked like this in a handful of centuries, I think. Please, before you go, do me a favor. Take this. If you ever find yourself in trouble, rip the paper, break the seal, and you will be saved. As for me, I'm going to let you be. You have a good night, little fish, and get home safe. Hello. Thank you for watching. Almost burped into the microphone. Thank God I didn't have to. Never mind. I'm gonna edit that out, but I burped into the microphone. Sorry to be gross. I wanted to thank you for watching. I'm gonna ramble a little bit. First I will ask, do you guys even like these? I might cut these down, I might not. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. Still figuring out my formula. And I'm not posting the question I'll ask in this ramble at the end in the comments, because I'm mostly just kind of seeing, it's a sort of a test on figuring out like how things are working. Not scientific at all. Yeah, but thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I recorded it like a handful of times. I have been doing some workouts, some cardio workouts. I'm doing, I'll just say it out loud. I'm doing stunt falling, which surprisingly works out the muscles in your neck. So the first couple of recordings, my voice was a little wonky. And so today I re-recorded it. But naturally, my downstairs neighbors, I think one of the kids down there only goes half day on Monday. Because I swear to God, he's always home, yelling at his video game system at like 12:30, and I want to fucking shake a baby. I shouldn't have said that. I will shake no babies. I speak hyperbolically. I don't condone hurting children, but maybe this one. I'm kidding. But he's making all this noise. There's a bunch of noise outside my window. The walls are really thin in this apartment complex, which is actually part of the reason I gave up on doing music, because, I mean, beyond, there were other reasons, but, and this is like the only apartment complex we can afford, so, there he is down there, just a shouting. Anyway, the irony of recording this video today was I just had my doctor's appointment. I haven't had a doctor in like 6 years. I had a doctor in 2019 before COVID, and then I didn't go to the doctor during COVID because that required going outside. So I got a new doctor, and I went today, and they gave me a shot. They gave me 2 shots, and they drew my blood, so then I came home, had something to eat, and pretended to be a vampire after having my own blood drained out of my body. So, you know, fun. And yeah, I hope, I keep saying I hope, like I'm not gonna say anything else. So, without further ado, my question that I was going to issue to you, I issued to during the last video, whether you caught it or not. The last video was a male for male video, this one's male for female. I don't know why, I'm thinking about just cutting it down to mostly male for anybody, because I don't really reference gender a whole lot. I do here and there. The last video referenced gender and with ease, but this one I had to force it to, because I wanted to be fair. Anyway, I asked the last video the same question. Like I said, this is a ramble. I asked the last video the same question. I'm gonna ask here. I just outed that I was trying to do music, so I guess I say that music is very important to me. As a neurodivergent individual, sometimes I don't feel like I can breathe without music. Like, I need it to focus, I need it to sometimes just to be calm, you know? It's so fucking loud, these kids. What is your favorite music? Specifically, what are your favorite, like, top 3 genres? Because I used to ask this when I try to get to know people at work, but why are you yelling? Why are y'all yelling? Why are you so damn loud? Maybe he is a marshmallow. What about that? You ever think about that? Sorry. I'm not bitter or angry at all that these children exist beneath me. Music. Right. Anyway, I would ask these people at work all the time, like, what's your favorite kind of music? It's my go-to get to know you question. Personally, my top 3 favorites are hip-hop, metalcore, and I'm gonna cheat, because my third place is kind of a tie between, like, post-grunge and, pop-punk. So, basically, number 3 slot goes to butt rock, because it's all garbage. But yeah, hip-hop's very important to me. I listen to a lot of metalcore. Somebody had a crush on in high school, introduced me to a metalcore band, and I never looked back. And then yeah, I grew up in the early 2000s. I was born in 97, and so I was a 2000s baby. So pop punk and post grunge were on the radio constantly. So I was actually listening to Fall Out Boy earlier today. I actually listened to all of it. Listening to hip hop, I was listening to Motionless in White, and I was listening to Fall Out Boy and Breaking Benjamin. Not that anybody gives a shit. Nobody's listening to this. I do have 11 subscribers. I got one more, so hey, thanks guys. I really appreciate that. But I'm also aware that that's peanuts, you know? Mr. Beast has his own TV show on Amazon. Not that I watch Mr. Beast. He exists, and he makes me think things about the world that aren't good. But I'm a little grungy as a person. I'm very much like a anti-establishment, pro-art, pro-message person. But that's enough about me. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day, good night, good morning, good afternoon, and if you're going to bed, sleep tight. And if you are awake and you're hearing this, let me know what your top 3 genres are. I'd really like to know. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Bye-bye.